Yeah, hi friends, my name is Philip Chandan and welcome back to my channel Energy and Environment Education. Friends, this is chapter 2.2 boiler and I have already uploaded videos on part A and part B. This is part C of the chapter, friends. If you have missed the part A and part B, please go to the first two parts and then you can come back to part C. All these parts are equally important. What I'm doing basically is I'm trying to divide the entire chapter into different parts so that it is easier for you to understand and grab all the concepts and important questions that can come from the different parts of the chapter, friends. So all the aspirants who are looking forward to take exam this year in coming years, for them all these parts are equally important. Please go through all the parts which I am trying to explain you in a very simple manner in different videos, friends. Also, I would like to request you, please do watch other videos on that I have made on different chapters in the channel. I have already posted those videos, friends. You can go through the different chapters which will help you to understand the concepts within the chapter from, and also this will help you to prepare your exam in a better way, friends. So if you are willing to take exam this year, if you are going to appear for this exam in this year or in coming years, for all those aspirants, these videos can really help you out. It's all free of cost, so you are getting an entire idea, entire concept free of cost, friends. So there's nothing, only you have to watch the video till the end. That will be helpful for you to grab the important concepts from the chapters, different chapters, friends. So please do subscribe my channel if not yet. Before I proceed, only one request I have. Please do share your inputs, your comments from the videos, other videos also, and this video, friends. Any inputs, any thoughts if you have in your mind, this will help me to understand whether I am preparing the video in a better way or not for you, or whether these videos are helping you out in some way or the other or not for exam preparation, friends. Please do subscribe my channel. Please do like. Also, please share your comments, your inputs, thoughts from this video and other videos, friends. So let's start the video today, friends. So basically, I'm going to explain you today the performance evaluation of boiler. If you have missed the other two parts, you can go through them. In the first part, I've explained what is boiler all about, and in the second part, I tried to explain you the different types of boilers and the classification of boilers. Now I'm going to explain you the performance evaluation of boilers in this particular video, friends. And hopefully, this will also help you to explain, understand the better understand the entire chapter, you can say, or the concept of the chapters in a better way, friends. As for this particular video is concerned, this performance evaluation of boiler is very much important as far as exam is concerned, because basically all the numerical type questions comes from this part of the chapter in the boiler section, friends. So please watch this video carefully and understand the concept that I have tried to explain in a very simple manner, in this exam, in this particular video, friends. So coming to the performance parameters of a boiler, so any boiler, if you want to understand whether the boiler is performing effectively or not, whether the performance of the boiler is up to the mark or not, so in that case you need to understand the concept here. That is, there are two terms basically, evaporation ratio and the efficiency. These two terms you can say are the concept which is very much important for you to understand, because with this only you will come to know whether the boiler is performing well or not, or the performance parameters of the boiler is as per requirement or not, friends. So you can see the performance parameters of a boiler like evaporation ratio and efficiency deteriorate with the time due to poor combustion. So what happens slowly, what as the boiler gets older and older, the evaporation ratio also and the efficiency deteriorates. The efficiency decreases time to time. So you need to check it regularly from at fixed interval. You can say at regular interval whether the boiler evaporation ratio is up to the mark or not, whether the efficiency of the boiler is up to the mark or not. With this, you will come to know whether the performance of the boiler is as per requirement or not, friends. Even for a new boiler, reasons such as deteriorating fuel quality, water quality, etc., can result in a poor boiler performance. So, performance of the boiler you should have to understand, and you should check regularly from time to time. And for that, the two key areas that you must consider for your evaluation or performance evaluation, friends, that is the evaporation ratio and the efficiency of the boiler. Evaporation ratio into ratio trending and boiler efficiency tests help to find out the deviation of the boiler efficiency. So if you see, these two are the two areas, or you can say technical terms, which you must understand, and this will only help you to understand the performance of the boiler, friends. So this is very much important as far as exam is concerned, and as for the knowledge is concerned, friends, about the performance of a boiler, friends. So coming to the first part, that is boiler evaporation ratio. So this is the to check the performance of the boiler. This is the effective term, or can say that effective concept that you must understand. The boiler evaporation ratio, also known as the steam to fuel ratio. How much steam is generated and how much fuel you are injecting inside the boiler. So this ratio will give you the boiler evaporation ratio, and this you will come to know whether the performance of the boiler is up to the mark or not. Is a common and a simple indicator for boiler performance trending, friends. So if you want to understand the how much boiler is performing, whether it's performing effectively or not, the most important so most simplest concept for this part is the steam to fuel ratio. How much steam is generated and how much fuel you are injecting inside the boiler, friends. So this is the ratio of the steam and fuel that will help you to calculate the boiler evaporation ratio, and this will effectively lead you to understand the boiler performance, friends. So typical values of evaporation ratio for different types of fuels are also given here. This is the figures or numbers you can understand, and you must remember, friends, like for biomass fired boilers you have 2 to 3, coal fired boilers you have 4 to 5.5, for oil fired boilers 13.5 14.5, gas fired boilers 11 to 13. So this is the concept you must understand, and also these numbers you must at least remember, because as far as the objective question is concerned, they may ask you to name it out, or you can say the correct answer type question also you may be asked to figure it out, friends. So this is the important for exam. Now another term is the boiler efficiency, which also is important, equally important for to calculate the performance of the boiler. So if you are asked to explain about the performance of the boiler, so they can either give you to only to explain the entire concept of the boiler performance, or they may name the two terms, that is boiler efficiency and the boiler evaporation ratio. So if they ask you to explain thoroughly entirely the boiler performance, in that case you should name first of all the two terms, that is boiler evaporation ratio that I showed you in the first last slide, and the boiler efficiency. So coming to the boiler efficiency, friends, it is the percentage of heat input that is effectively utilized to generate steam. This is the definition of the boiler efficiency and concept of boiler efficiency all about, friends, that you must understand. And also there are two types of methods to calculate the boiler efficiency. The first one is the direct method. The other one is the other one is the indirect method, friends. So in case of direct method, when the energy gain of the working fluid, water or steam is compared with the energy content of the boiler. So I'll try to explain you what is direct method all about, and also the indirect method all about in coming slides, friends. So for the time being, you should understand the two concepts, that is the boiler evaporation ratio that I explained in the last slide, and also the boiler efficiency, that is a percentage of heat input that is effectively utilized to generate steam, friends. So both the terms you must understand, and they may ask you to either separately explain each of the terms, or they may as a whole they will give you the question as to explain the boiler performance. In that case, you should name the two first and then explain them briefly, friends. And as I said in the last slide, there are two types of methods, the direct method and the indirect method, to calculate the boiler efficiency evaluation. I'll explain you in coming slides what is direct method all about, and also the indirect method all about. For the exam purpose, you must understand the two methods, and also you may expect to have different type of questions from these two methods, friends. Basically the numerical type of questions you may expect from the direct method, also from the indirect method. For the short answer type questions you may expect from direct method, and for long answer type questions, numerical questions, basically, friends, you may expect from the indirect method. They will give you the entire this is long process of the calculation of the boiler efficiency. It's a short method of calculation of the boiler efficiency. So in the short type question, friends, they may ask you from the to calculate the boiler efficiency for the direct method, and also in the case of long answer type question, they may ask you to calculate the boiler efficiency with the indirect method approach, friends. So I'll explain you the two terms, the two methods in coming slides, friends. So coming to the direct method, Fred, as I said, it's a very important concept, and also very much important as far as exam is concerned, because different type of question you can expect. Basically the numerical type question and short numerical type question basically you can expect from direct method. So it is input output method, where the basically the heat output and heat input is considered for the calculation of the boiler efficiency. This is also known as the input output method due to the fact that it is one of the useful output steam and the heat input. I mean how much the steam is generated and how much the heat is injected inside the boiler, that has to be only calculated. Once you have these two terms, then you can easily calculate the boiler efficiency. In the exam, basically what is happening here, they may either give you these two values directly and they will ask you to calculate the boiler efficiency, but a lot of times it has been seen that they will not give you these two values directly. Indirectly they will give you some of the other values, and they will ask you to calculate the boiler efficiency, friends. So if if they give you, then this formula can be applied to calculate the boiler efficiency. But if they do not give you directly, in that case, what's happening here, you have to use the other parameters that they have given you. Like suppose this formula can be used where the Q into Hg minus Hf by Q small q into GCV into 100. This formula is used to calculate the boiler efficiency, where capital Q is the steam generated per hour and small q is the fuel injected per hour or fuel used per hour, and Hg and Hf are the enthalpy of saturated steam and enthalpy of feed water, and GCV is the gross calorific value also given. So once they give you all these parameters and the figures numbers on these parameters, so just you apply this formula and calculate the boiler efficiency, friends. So two ways you may expect in the exam to calculate the boiler efficiency. Either the if this is a very small one word type of question answer or objective type question answer, they can give you directly that these two inputs and then you can calculate the boiler efficiency. Otherwise, for the short type questions, they can give you these two parameters, different parameters, and then they ask you to calculate the boiler efficiency, friends. So now let's consider an example here as a numerical example, basically to calculate the efficiency and the evaporation ratio of a boiler by direct method with the data given below. So in the exam, you may expect to have questions, numerical based questions, where they will give you this data, all the data will be fed, and then they will ask you to calculate the evaporation ratio, also the efficiency of the boiler, friends. So you see here, the type of boiler is given already, coal fired, quantity of steam is given here, steam pressure is given here, quantity of coal is given here, feed water temperature is given here, GCV of coal is given here, enthalpy is given here. So these parameters are already listed out, they have given you, and now they ask you to calculate the evaporation ratio and the efficiency of the boiler, friends. So if the formula I showed you earlier, to calculate the evaporation ratio, you have the quantity of steam generated and quantity of fuel used. So already they have given you 8,000 as a quantity of steam generated. Also the value is given as 1800 as the quantity of fuel consumed. Just to divide the two and you get the evaporation ratio as a answer, friends. Same way for the boiler efficiency, I showed you this formula already, Q into Hg minus Hf and into small q into GCV, friends, into 100. This already is given there. All the parameters are already, number figures are already given there. Just you put the values here and calculate the formula. With the formula, calculate the answer, friends. So you have the 80% efficiency here, and the 4.44 is the evaporation ratio for this particular question, friends. So this type of numerical you can expect basically for the short type questions in the exam, friends. They may ask you to calculate both of them or either of them, friends, in the exam. So here are some of the advantages of direct method, where they can ask you to name few advantages and few constraints with the direct efficiency method. So there are pros and cons. There are some benefits by using the direct method to calculate the boiler efficiency. Also there are deficiency, or you can say there are loopholes while calculating the boiler efficiency with the direct method. So let's see what are the advantages and the disadvantages with the direct method of boiler efficiency calculation, friends. So as far as advantage is concerned, plant people can evaluate the efficiency of boiler quickly because not too much parameters are required to calculate a boiler efficiency. So it's very easy process, requires a few parameters, as I said, these few instruments only for monitoring. So very much easy process to calculate the efficiency of the boiler by direct method. So it's a very advantageous in that case. But there are some constants also, like accuracy of steam and feed water flow measurement and full measurements are prone to error. So accuracy is not too much here as far as the direct method is concerned. You do not get the accurate result, accurate efficiency of the boiler you will not be getting here with this method. Steam quality assessment in case of saturated steam conditions prone to error. Also steam quality is used which is exactly is not fed inside the this type of calculation, friends. So this is also an error here. Reported efficiency gives only values with respect to design but does not indicate the any improvement opportunities. So any losses going on inside the boiler, suppose those things are not highlighted here inside this with this type of calculating the boiler efficiency, friends, from direct method. So what happening here is very easy to calculate, but it's not efficient enough. The result that you are getting here is not efficient enough. Also the improvement opportunities will not be figured it out with the help of this formula, friends, or the method that you are using, that is direct method, to calculate the direct efficiency of the boiler efficiency of the boiler efficiency, friends. So this is advantages, but sometimes it's also disadvantages. So it's up to plant people to see whether they have to use direct method or the indirect method for the calculation. For if they want better result and better accuracy, they have to go with the indirect method, not the direct method, friends. Now coming to the other method, the indirect or the heat loss method. Indirect method is also called as the heat loss method, where the heat loss is used to calculate the efficiency of the boiler. Efficiency is arrived at by subtracting the heat loss fractions from 100. This is the principle that I'll explain you in coming slides, and also later on when I'm going to explain you with the different numericals based on this indirect method, friends. So for the timing, you must understand it's a heat loss method, and it's a not so easy method as the direct method is. It's a bit complicated, not so complicated, but it's a lengthy method, you can say, where the different losses are considered to calculate the efficiency of the boiler. The standard do not include blow down loss in the efficiency determination process. A detailed process of calculating boiler efficiency in the given below with an example. So here is an example here where you will need to calculate the efficiency of the boiler with the indirect or heat loss method, friends. So boiler reference is given, steam pressure is given, the flue gas also is used here. See, all these parameters are also used to calculate the heat loss method. I mean in boiler efficiency, friends. Atmospheric air temperature is given, humidity also is given to calculate the boiler efficiency by indirect method. Other than that, you have the fuel analysis and also the ash analysis. In this case, you are going to have the complete analysis of the fuel part also. So different components of fuel is considered for the analysis, and these are the numbers or the percentages given here, which are used to calculate the indirect boiler efficiency by indirect method, friends. Also, and ash analysis also has to be done when you are going to calculate the boiler efficiency by indirect method. So in this case, you see here the flue gas, the the ash and other parameters are also considered while calculating the boiler efficiency, and these things will give you in the exam. And the numerical part also, if you need to calculate the boiler efficiency by indirect method, these things will be given to you, and they will ask you to calculate the boiler efficiency by indirect method, friend, in exam. So I'm not going to explain you entire process, friends, of the of the indirect method to calculate the boiler efficiency, but only I'm showing you the summary of the heat balance for coal-fired boiler. One example, just giving you how the different losses are calculated and then summarized to calculate the boiler efficiency. So you can see here the heat input is given here. Losses in boiler is calculated in 8 steps. So first of all, dry flue gas, then loss due to hydrogen in fuel, loss due to moisture in fuel, loss due to moisture in air, partial combustion of C or carbon monoxide, surface heat losses going on inside the boiler, loss due to unburnt and fly ash, so also due to unburnt and bottom ash. So fly ash, bottom ash is considered here, so ash is also considered here. Then surface heat loss is considered here. Combustion, partial combustion of C or carbon to carbon monoxide is also considered here. Losses due to the moisture in air is considered, and also the fuel part is loss due to hydrogen and loss due to moisture. In the case of fuel, they have two losses. Then dry flue gas also is used to see the losses going on inside the dry flue gases. So all these different type of losses is first of all calculated, and once you calculate all those, you add them up and then minus it with the subtract with 100. So you get the entire efficiency of the boiler. This is the 80.7% efficiency here. So in this case, you can see here total losses boiler. You see here different types of percentage is given here, and this all added up and then subtracted from 100 to get the boiler efficiency by indirect method. So this is the entire concept of the calculation of the boiler efficiency by indirect method, which I will be explaining more in detail when I explain the numerical part in different videos that I'm going to make in coming days, friends. So with this, I'm ending the part C, friends, and please be connected with me because I'm also going to upload the part D of this chapter, friends, which is equally important. Which I'll bring you another concept and important material for exam concern, friends. So I hope you must have enjoyed this video. You must have understood the concept that I've tried to explain you in this particular video. Part A, part B already uploaded. Part C I'm going to upload now, and part D will be uploaded further. So all these 4 and 5 other parts will be equally important for you as per exam preparation, friends. So please go through all these videos and other videos also, which will be helpful for you to prepare your exam in a better way, friends. And please do subscribe my channel if not yet, and this will help me to prepare more such videos in coming days, friends. So as I said, please be connected with me, and this is my mobile number, this is my email ID. If you have any comments, any feedbacks, if you have, please do drop your comments, your feedbacks, your inputs, your thoughts on my email ID, on my WhatsApp number. And please do subscribe my channel as I requested earlier also. This will help me to motivate me to prepare more such videos, and this will also help you to connect with me in a better way, friends. And also please press the bell icon, because this will help you to get the videos as soon as I post a new video. A notification will come to you when I post a new video, friends. So please do subscribe and press the bell icon before you leave, friends. That's all for today, and hopefully these videos really helping you out in your exam preparation, friends. So let's connect again in another video that I'm going to post in coming days, friends.